Inshallah, with this lesson, in this lesson we are talking about Pythagorean theorem and sine, cosine, and tangent. First, Pythagoras theorem. Pythagoras theorem, we have a relation between the sides of the right angle triangle. This relation tells you that the square of the side, which is opposite to the right angle, the square of the hypotenuse, equals the sum of the squares of the other two sides. So, c squared equals a squared plus b squared. C squared, the square of the hypotenuse, equals a squared plus b squared. This side square equals this one square plus this one square. So, we can write this equation in different ways. So, if I need a squared, so b squared, we can transpose b squared to the other side by negative. So, a squared equals c squared minus b squared. Also, we can make b squared as a subject. So, c squared minus a squared. Now, from this theorem, if we have any two sides, we can find the third side. For example, if I need the hypotenuse, so we can use this formula. And also we can deduce that c, the side c, is the square root a squared plus b squared. If I need any side from the other sides, a or b, we can use this one or that one. So for example, if I need a, square root c squared minus b squared. If I need b, so square root c squared minus a squared. Examples: we have right angle triangle, we have the two sides, and we need to find the hypotenuse. Okay, so how to find the hypotenuse now?
6 squared plus 8 squared.
Yes, we can find in one step square root 6 squared plus 8 squared, because this is the hypotenuse. So we can find the answer 10. Next one. Now we have the hypotenuse and we have one side, and we need to find the third side. So how to find y? We can find y in one step. Square root, because you have the hypotenuse, so start with the hypotenuse. So the hypotenuse square minus the other side square. What is the answer? 169 minus 149, 25. Square root of 25, 5. Okay. One more. Number 2. This side 5, 8, and we need to find x. This is not the hypotenuse, so subtract 8 squared minus 5 squared, then square root. So x equal
6.24.
Yes, 8 squared minus 5 squared. To 3 significant figure?
6.24.
So 6.24 centimeter. Now trigonometric ratios. If we have right angle triangle, this right angle triangle, this angle 90. Of course, we have one right and two acute angle. If we consider this angle, this acute angle, this side which is opposite to this angle is called opposite. And we call this side adjacent. But the side which is opposite to the right angle has a special name which is hypotenuse. So, opposite, adjacent, hypotenuse. So, we have three ratios. The ratio between the opposite side for this angle and the hypotenuse is called sine theta. Sine of theta. So sine of theta is opposite over hypotenuse. Sine of theta is opposite over hypotenuse. So sine equal opposite over hypotenuse. And the second ratio, which is called cos theta. Cos theta is the ratio between the adjacent and the hypotenuse. The ratio between the adjacent and the hypotenuse. The third ratio, which is called tan theta. Tan theta is the ratio between the opposite side and the adjacent side. So opposite over adjacent. So we can say that the three ratios, we can write them as SOHCAHTOA. So SOHCAHTOA means sine equal opposite over hypotenuse, cosine or cos equal adjacent over hypotenuse, tan equal opposite over adjacent. We use them to find side or angle. To find side or angle, now we apply. for number 1. In this one, I need to find the side. We have this angle 28, and this the hypotenuse 8, and I need to find AB. We have this angle. AB represents the adjacent. So we need to find the adjacent. And we have the hypotenuse. So which ratio of the trigonometric ratios related to adjacent and hypotenuse? So remember, yes. So, okay. So we talk about cos, because adjacent and hypotenuse, so we can use cos. How to use cos to find the angle? You can write cos 28. Cos 28 equal AB over 8. AB over 8. Now we can find AB. Cross multiply or multiply by 8. So AB will be 8 cos 28. Now what is the answer?
7.06.
7.06. So write the answer to 3 significant figures. Of course, we can use calculator to find the cos 28 because all sine, cosine, tan for all angles it's stored in the calculator, so you can find the answer there. Now for number 4. Now we need to find angle. We need to find this angle, this right angle. We need to find this angle. We have the opposite for this angle, and we have the hypotenuse. We have opposite and hypotenuse. So which sine or cosine or tan is suitable for this case? Because we have opposite and hypotenuse, so sine. So we can write sine x equal opposite, which is 2, over hypotenuse, which is 5. If you have sine, cosine, or tan, you can use calculator to find the angle using inverse. To use the calculator to find x, sine x is 2 over 5. So now inverse sine, use the inverse function. So shift sine, then write 2 over 5, 2 over 5. So the angle to nearest decimal degree is 23.6. So x now is 23.6 using the calculator. So to find x, just use sine inverse or cosine inverse or tan inverse to find the angle. Number 5, we have right angle triangle. We have this angle x, adjacent, because this side represents the adjacent, and this, which is opposite to the right angle, the hypotenuse. We have adjacent and hypotenuse, adjacent and the hypotenuse. How to find angle? Sine, cosine, or tan? Cosine, because we have adjacent and hypotenuse. So to find angle x, use the inverse function. So cosine inverse adjacent over hypotenuse, 2 over 5. And also we can use calculator to find the answer. So shift cosine or shift cos, 2 over 5. So the angle 66.4, the nearest one decimal, 66.4 degrees. Calculate the height, the length h. We have this angle 15 and this side 628 meters, and we need to find h. Yes, can you solve, Aviva?
So we have the hypotenuse,
Which is 628, and we need to find
opposite.
opposite. So sine or cosine or tan?
We use sine.
Sine.
So sine 15
So sine 15
equals to
equals to,
h over 628.
yes.
Then we put it to the other side.
Okay, we can multiply by 628. So h equal
162.5.
628 sine 15, which is
162.5.
162.5. I need the answer correct to 2 significant figure.
So 160.
160. Good job. Number 7 may be different. It's given to you that cos C is 4 over 5. Find the angle A. How to find angle A? You have cos C. If you have cos C, can you find angle C? Yes, you can. If you have sine or cosine or tan, you can find the angle itself directly using inverse function. So cos C is 4 over 5. So now if you need to find the angle, shift cos 4 over 5. 4 over 5. So the angle 36.86, so 36.9. So angle C equal cos inverse 4 over 5, which is 36.9. So now, because it's right angle, so this 90 and A plus C, of course, 90, because the sum of the interior angles of triangle 180. So if this 90, so A plus C 90. Then you can find angle A. 90 minus 36. Or 180 minus 90 plus 36.9. To find the third angle, the sum of the interior angles 180. You have B is 90 and angle C 36.9. Then you can find angle A. So angle A equal 180 minus 90 plus 36.9. Yes, what's the answer?
53.1.
53.1. Number 8, can you read, Afifa?
The line AB represents the glass walkway between the Petronas Towers in Kuala Lumpur. The walkway is 58.4 meters long and is 170 meters above the ground. The angle of elevation of the point P from A is 78.3. Calculate the height of P above the ground.
Angle of elevation, when you look up, if you are here and you look up, the angle between the horizontal and this ray from the eye to the object is called angle of elevation. So the angle of elevation, the angle between the horizontal line and the ray from the eye to the object is called angle of elevation. Angle of elevation is given to you, 78.3. Okay? I need the height of B above the ground. So I need all this height. I need this height. How to find this height? This part 170 meter. So we need to find that one. If we can find BP, then add with 170 to find the height from the ground. Can we find BP? This side 58, we have right angle triangle. This side 58.4. We have the angle 78.3. So can we find this side? Yes, how to find this side, Afifa?
So we have the adjacent. We need to find the opposite.
So wait 1 minute. So Katoa, just to remember. You have right angle triangle. You have one side and one angle. So which is the suitable function we should use? Sine, cosine, or tan? Tan. Because we need to find the opposite and we have the adjacent. Opposite and adjacent. So we use tan. So tan 78.3 equals what?
Equals to BB over 58.4.
Yes, good job. So now how to find BB?
Put 58.4 to the other side.
Yes, transpose to the other side by multiplication. So 58.4 multiply 10, 78.3. So BB equals what?
282.
282. Okay. Now I need the height from the ground.
Plus it 170.
Because this 282. So plus 170. So the height, the total height is 282 plus 170. What's the answer? 452 meter. Number 9, we have this shape. Mahmoud is working out the height h meters of a tower BT, this is the tower, which stands on a level ground. He measures the angle TAB 25, this angle 25. He cannot measure the distance AB, and so he walks 80 meters from A to C. 80 meters from A to C, where the angle ACB is 18. Angle ACB is 18. You move like that. So now this angle is 18. And the angle ABC equal 90. And the angle ABC, this angle is 90. I need the distance AB. I need to find the distance AB. How to find the distance AB? First, look for this right angle triangle. This right angle triangle.
We have the hypotenuse.
We have hypotenuse, which is 80.
And we are looking for opposite.
And we have the angle 18. Yes, we need to find the opposite, which is AB. So opposite and hypotenuse. Opposite and the hypotenuse. So from SOHCAHTOA, which is the suitable one? Sine, because I need opposite and hypotenuse. I have hypotenuse and we need opposite. So sine 18 equal the opposite, which is AB, over the hypotenuse, which is 80. Now you can find AB. So AB equals 80 multiply sine 80 equals
24.7.
24.7. Okay, so now you have AB 24.7. Now can you find H? Can you find H from this triangle? Now you have this side 24.7. 24.7. Now look for this side. This side 24.7. And this angle 25. And we have right angle triangle. We have side and angle. And we need to find the other side. Using SOHCAHTOA, we can find this one. Which is one suitable one? Sine or cosine or tan?
10.
Why tan, Asi?
Because there is opposite and adjacent.
Yes. So we can find H like that. So tan 25. You can say that tan 25 equal opposite, which is H, over the adjacent, which is 24.7. Or you can use the exact value from the question before. So now H equal 24.7 multiply 10, 25. So can you find the answer?
11.5.
11.5. If the answer is not exact, round to 3 significant figure. Meter. Now, angles of elevations and depression. Angle of elevation, we said this before. If you are just look for object which is above. So how to find the angle of elevation? This is the horizontal. This is the horizontal. The angle between the horizontal and the ray from the eye to the object, this is called angle of elevation. Angle of elevation. Okay? This is the sight line and this is the horizontal. The angle between them is called angle of elevation. What about angle of depression? Angle of depression, just you look down. Okay, this is the observer. If you look down for an object, the angle between the horizontal and the sight line, or the line from the eye to the object, is called angle of depression. Angle of depression. So this angle of depression and this angle of elevation. We have a relation between them. Angle of depression equal angle of elevation. If we have two observers, one up and one down, and they look it for each other, so angle of depression for the one at this position is the same like angle of elevation, because look, the horizontal lines are parallel, so we have alternate angles, so they are equal. So angle of elevation and angle of depression, they are equal because This line is parallel to that one, horizontal. This line are horizontal lines, so they are parallel. So this angle equals that one. Okay? Okay. Number 10. Yes, can you read Afifa?
From the top of a building, 300 meters high, the angle of depression of a car C is 52 degrees.
Okay, this is a building which is height 300 meters. From the top of the building, the angle of depression. The angle of depression, this means the angle between the horizontal, this is the horizontal, and the ray or the sight line. This angle of depression is 52. So this angle is 52. This angle of depression. From the top of a building is 300 meters high. The angle of depression, this is the angle of depression. Of a car C, this is a car because he look to the car C. This is the sight line. This car C. Okay? This car like here. This angle is 52, so this angle is 52. And we have the height 300 meters. Calculate the horizontal distance. I need to find the horizontal distance. I need to find this distance. How to find this distance? Asil, can you find this distance? For this triangle, what we have?
We have adjacent and opposite.
We need to find the adjacent, and we have the opposite.
So
But do you have this angle?
no.
Do you have a relation now? This letter Z. This letter Z. So this angle equals that one. Because angle of depression equal angle of the elevation. Angle of depression equal angle of elevation. Okay? Because letter Z, alternate angles. So this angle 58, 52. Now, can you find X?
So
You have the opposite? Yes.
52
So 10, 52,
equals x over 300
no. Opposite, which is 300
over x.
over X. Now, in this case, if you have the unknown down or underneath, you need 2 steps to find X. Or you can solve in 1 step. You have to. So, if you cross multiply, so X 10, 52 equal 300. Then to find X, 300 divide by 10, 52. So we multiply by X first, then we find X. 300 divide 10 by 52. Or you can just switch between X and 1052. So X equal 300 divide 52, 1052. What's the answer to 3 significant figure?
234.
234. So the answer 234. Number 11, read Afifa.
From a point 25 meters away from the foot of a flagpole, the angle of elevation of the top of the pole is 6 degrees. Calculate the height of the pole to the nearest meter.
Okay, it's better to draw a diagram to solve. This is a flag ball. This is the ground. From a point 25 meters away from the foot, this is the foot. So 25 meters from the foot. Can consider here. The angle of elevation is 6 degrees. 6 degrees. Calculate the height of the pole. I need the height. I need the height of the flagpole. How to find the height? Sine or cosine or tan. Of course, this is perpendicular to the ground. So what? 10, yes. Because I need to find the opposite and we have the adjacent. So 10. So tan 6 is h over 25. So now h equal 25, go to the other side, multiplication. So 25 tan 6 equals
2.63.
2.63 meter. This is answer to 3 significant figure. Read Afifa.
From a point A, 10 meters from the base of a tree, the angle angle of elevation of the top of the tree is 36 degrees. From a point B, x meters further on from the base of the tree, the angle of elevation is 20 degrees. Find the height of the tree to the nearest tenth of a meter, and find the distance x meters to the nearest tenth of a meter.
Okay, find the height of the tree and find the distance x. Okay, so this is the tree. From point A, which is 10 meters from the foot of the tree, the angle 36. From point B, which is x meter far from point A, the angle of elevation is 20. How to find h first? How to find h? Look for this triangle. We have right angle.
10.
Yes, tan, because we need to find the opposite and we have adjacent. So tan. So tan 36 is h over 10. So h equal 10 tan 36, which is 10 tan 36 equals what?
7.27.
7.27 meter. So now we have h 7.27. Okay. Now how to find x?
We have to use the whole triangle.
Yes, you need to look for the whole triangle. And you can find OB, am I right? Because look for the whole triangle, you have this angle 20, and you have the opposite 7.27. Then you can find OB using 10 also. Am I right? So, 10, 20 equals the opposite, which is 7.27 over OB. Can we find OB? If you need to find OB in one step, just switch between 10 and OB. So OB equal 7.27 over 1020. What is the answer?
19.97.
19.97, approximately 20. Approximately 20. So we can say that 20 meters. So now OB equals 20 and OA equals 10. So X is what?
10.
Yes, X is 20 minus 10, which is 10 meters.